Imagine if Tarkov was made by Shroud and Sacriel.
Whoa, dude! I've been thinking about this. It's like, so obviously, I'm on the fence. Like, obviously, a part of my brain that's so frustrated with the gaming industry is immediately like, this is going to be a game that says it's going to change the world, and it'll go to alpha in 6 years, and it'll stay in alpha for 17 years, and I don't care. And then a part of me thinks the exact same thing you were saying earlier, where I was like, so for people that don't know, Shroud and Sacriel announced that they're working with, what's the company? They've like
Splash Damage.
Yeah. They've made
I don't know anything about
Gears.
them, but
They've made Gears of War 4. They were in charge of like the Halo Master Chief Collection. They made a game I played a lot way back in the day called Brink. They've like worked on games. So they're partnering, Shroud and Sacriel are partnering with them to make an open world survival game. And so part of me is like, this is dumb. It's never going to come out. You know, it's all hype because I'm been burned, right? I'm cynical. I've been burned. But then part of me is like, what I've been saying forever is like, I wish that I wish DayZ and Rust and Tarkov could have a baby and make this beautiful game. And then
because you have the perspective of you are so sick of X. So someone who like Shroud and Sacriel are sick of the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing why we got excited for Dr. Disrespect's game. And then we found out there's NFTs involved. And then the whole thing looks like a dumpster fire.
But I'm like, wow, hold on. These guys love Tarkov and DayZ, and Shroud's perspective on gunplay and handling and stuff like that is insane. And I thought the same thing. I haven't interacted personally with Sacriel too much, but like every time I'm in his channel, he is dissecting the game he's playing, and I've never seen him with an L. I've never seen him
communicating it perfectly.
Yeah, I've never seen him breaking down like, oh, see, this is interesting because the game didn't really tell me to do that. And what if they had done something like this? I'm always like, yeah. Or he's like explaining why a mechanic in a game is really good. And I'm like, yeah. So
dude, my first time in his stream, he pulled up the code, the part of the documentation and a bunch of screenshots about the glasses in Tarkov, how they are fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, me and my buddy who's like a Unity guy, this is exactly the problem. And the guy like reproduced it in Unity, the same exact like shader or whatever texture, whatever the thing was. And I just remember being like, okay, you know, like.
Yeah. So like Shroud knows gunplay, and Sacriel kind of has a really good perspective from the perspective of a gamer on game design. And they both love all of the games that I wish somebody would make and have a baby with. And then they announce they're making an open world survival shooter. And Shroud is talking about how important the gunplay is to him. And Sacriel, I'm like, so part of me is like, but part of me is like, this is our shot, boys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this might be as close as we ever get to the opportunity. So, and they're both huge into MMOs as well, which like there's a lot of aspects that Tarkov kind of wants to take from that, but doesn't really implement well. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
if it was just Shroud, I would still be like, okay, I want to see what it is, you know, because like he is like, if you want to design a race car, having, you know, Mario Andretti on your design team, he might not be like the best car engineer, right? But he's like, put me in the driver's seat. I'm going to drive it. He's going to drive it and say, this isn't right.
Yeah. And that'll be really valuable experience.
And that's hugely valuable. I think the fact that Sacriel is involved, the output of Sacriel and Shroud, if you put them in a box and you shove ideas in, the stuff you're going to get out is better than
I agree with that.
just Sacriel or just Shroud. Because I think Shroud is obviously like a god gamer, and he has a lot of really good takes on Tarkov. I think a lot of things he gets a little bit wrong about certain aspects where, but I think that Sacriel sitting down with him and being like, well, maybe if you thought about, he'd be like, yeah, you know what, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Like having them together to be able to talk. Totally. This is one of those things. What my chat ended up turning into was half of the people were saying, I can't believe all these fucking people are so goddamn hyped over this thing. Like it's going to be this. First of all, I never saw anybody who were hyped that said it's going to be the greatest. Everybody was malding about the theoretical, hypothetical straw man on this side of the spectrum. And the other people were like, this is just going to be some fucking another gamer, whatever thing that's going to come out in 17 years. And it's like, we have no information.
Yeah.
Other than these two guys, whether you like them or not.
So many layers to that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's exactly that. It's like, I haven't seen anybody that's like tweeted out, this will be the game that saves humanity. But the haters are like, that guy's probably out there, so I'm going to mauld about him. And since that guy's not really out there, you have everybody maulding about guys that don't really exist, when fundamentally what they're maulding about is what they're doing, which is formulating a complete opinion about a game they know nothing about. They've just, like, it's still cherry picking if you pick all the bad tasting cherries. You know what I mean? Like, if you just decide that it's going to be bad because, I don't know, I want it to be bad, and so I'm going to say it's bad, then you're doing the same thing as the guy who goes, this is going to be good just because it's going to be good. And you hate that guy. So stop being that guy. I don't know if it's going to be an amazing game or a terrible game. I'll be interested in the project, excited about its potential, and check it out when it gets here. But like, yeah, well, fucking, like, when I heard, I'm excited to see what it's going to be. I DM'd Sacriel and I was like, yo, I would, let me know if you ever need like a fucking random playtester or, whatever. And he like instantly responded back. Sacriel's such a dude. He's such a fucking genuine dude. I met Shroud once way back in the day, like right after I got partnered, and like shook his hand. And this is before anybody knew my fucking name. Yeah. But Sacriel is and Sequisha. Or two guys that like I just mega look up to in terms of content creators, and in real life they're just super cool, down to earth, genuine dudes that are exactly like they are on their streams. They're both really smart. They have really good takes. Tons of respect for those guys. So I don't want to say like optimistic. But we have no information. I look forward to seeing what they have to show us in the coming years. It's one of those things I hate how much we have to qualify it. It's like, I'm excited. I'm not afraid to say that. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not preaching the gospel of Shroudy Christ and his game.
You're selling tickets to the fucking show already.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm excited. And if they botch it on the way, and if they show gameplay footage that sucks, I'm going to say it sucks. But I hate that I have to qualify, you know what I mean? Oh, well, it's like, cool, dude. It's exciting. I'm glad they're making it. They're cool people. It's because making a game in the genre I love. What's the problem? Like, that's what's crazy is that, like, how many times have you heard Tarkov needs competition, because then that's really going to put Nikita in gear, and then any competition comes along and it's like, copying, this game's going to suck, they're going to ruin it, it's like, oh my God, bro.